It was our opening, and for the contest, she's wearing her sequin jacket and the lights and everything, and does her intro. We used to open every show. It used to be real formal. They, at first, I told them earlier, it's William Tell Overture, Lone Ranger. Well, now it's Karaoke Express to the rescue, and the music goes up and everything. And then we switched to 2001 Space Odyssey. And we had to buy the disc and record them on cassette tapes to play it and splice it and everything, you know, or to edit it, so we didn't have the whole song. But, and then at the end of it, we're singing that we closed every show with Happy Trails with me and my tambourine and her singing and me singing and all this, and that's what the tape is.
I would like to see it.
Me too.
It's funny. They made a movie about my dad in World War II. He was the most decorated chaplain in World War II. He got a Silver Star, 2 Bronze Stars, Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service, Purple Heart with a cluster, which means he got shot twice.
I should be able to look him up then.
And he held up Leroy Rayleigh. He got a Silver Star for gallantry in action. He took over a platoon and they killed all the crowds coming over the hill, because in Texas we call this a draw. And for them to get from here to here, they're going to have to come through there. And he said, I'm a man of God, I'm not a man of war, but if I was you, because all the other officers were killed already. And so he told them what to do, and they set up along the ridge, and when they came into the draw, they gunned them all down, and they gave him the Silver Star, and that's what that movie is about. It's really cool. They had actors. I mean, he didn't actually act in it, but they had actors portray them.
When I first met you, you were at Jackrabbit Slims.
And that wasn't no Easter bunny. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Every time I drop a show, remember that first Saturday we did there? It was packed. And God, he was doing cartwheels. And then I had Friday. I'll take that too. Before long, it was Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. And then I went up to pick up my equipment one day, and he was gone. I mean, he was hauling out the pool tables.
Yeah, very close.
And same thing. West End Pub, when that jerk took it over, we were going to a Texas game, me and, what's his name?
Shrek?
No, the Filipino guy.
Man?
Tom.
Oh,
Me and Tom were going to meet Chuck and Kim. We were going to all meet at West End and go from there to the game, leave our cars there and go with Tom. I got there, and that dude's there with a trailer loading up everything, liquor and shit. And I found out, I asked him, said, yeah, we're gonna have to close, you know. I played there on Saturday night. Sunday morning, I get there and he's loading up. And so I didn't call my wife, Melinda, and tell her. I didn't want her to worry that I just lost, you know, a major show. That was when I still had my voice. Anyway, I got to the game, he should call me. She said, guess what I went out and bought? And I said, what? She said, a laptop. And then we still had that old computer, you know, the time, desktop that was messed up. We'd already been ripped off for $1,000 from Joe for that computer, because he got rolled by a hooker. That's another story. Yeah, but anyway, that's just kind of that money. You just say, well, Melinda said it's not $1 million deal, let it go. But anyway, yeah. And so I didn't tell her until I got home. I lost my job. But at least I'll have time to play on the computer now. That's crazy.
the reservoir was another one. Closed down and locked his equipment in there.
Oh, Reservoir.
The reservoir.
What's up with that? Well, you talking about getting screwed. I told Belinda never gives club owners. I love a lot of them. I mean, most of them were very good to me. But I had a deal with what's her name at the reservoir. That I would get 300 a night. If they rang over 11 or something, I would get an extra 100 or something like that. She had 2 bars, and all the poker players, you know, the bitches and the dogs, were all in there in the poker room at that bar, and they opened their tabs there. And then at 9, when I started, they would come over there, but they kept their tabs on that other register. So the only time she ever paid me overtime was like Halloween and your birthday party when everybody got naked. Remember that? But yeah, she would say, oh, we nearly made it, 987. And she screwed me every week. But I didn't tell Melinda. Melinda would have told me to quit. And that's why she was the business person. She would have beat the hell out of Joyce. She'd have been alive.
That's okay. But what I was referring to was your equipment got locked in that place, but they shut it down. That's another one they got messed up.
Which one?
Reservoir.
Yeah.
Reservoir there just happened.
Yeah. Somebody told you, was it you?
I don't know if it was somebody called, I don't know if it was.
Somebody called and said the reservoir's closed, and I went, padlocked. She wouldn't, the landlord padlocked it, because she owed him money. So she couldn't get in, I couldn't get in to get my equipment. So I had to, they had some guys there that let her in for a few minutes, and I had to give them an itemized list of what I had in there and go in and get it while they were there.
Did you just happen to go over there when they were there? You just got lucky with them, they showed up?
That's right, that's how it was. I got there and they were in there, they were there, that's it. They were there getting their stuff out. What was her name?
The owner or the?
Owner.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Of the bar.
Yeah.
And she didn't bother to call me and say, hey, you need to come get your equipment. And the guys were there and they called the landlord, and the landlord said, well, make him tell you exactly what he's going to carry out, you know, so I had to tell him what all I had and got it out of there. The hardest part of it was getting people out, man, especially when they were new. They didn't know what karaoke was, you know, and
When did you start at Albert's?
man, that was about, let's see, what is it
It
now?
was Thursday Turtle, man. And I just started going to your show there in 2001, I think, or 2000, December.
That was, okay, I started there in about 99, I guess, 98. Because I was living over here and working out. At the Millennium 2000, I had to work that night and I was really teed off because Belinda booked the show. It was for a private party.
Oh,
And it was over there in the Great Oaks or something. It was young yuppies. And that was when I started carrying my own water because depending on a lot of places you go and they give you drinks and food, this place didn't even give me a bottle of water, nothing, a glass of water. It came in the back door. And at the time, I'd lost some shows. It was like 4 months before New Year. And so Belinda booked the party cheap if we could get it all up front, which is what we did. So I spent my millennium with these yuppies,
4-hour show? 3-hour show?
probably 4 hours. Some parties were great. One of the worst ones was, I nearly called the cops on myself. It was Christmas party. It was outdoors, really nice people. But I was outdoors and I'd wore black slacks and regular shoes and a light coat and stuff. And I was freezing my butt off. And it was supposed to be over at like 11. And Belinda told them $50 an hour for overtime. So at midnight or 11, they said, okay, we want to go an hour or two more. And they had been, when they get cold, they go in the house and warm up. And there was a fire pit outside. But I had to do that. And I was this close calling police and saying, man, they're having a ruckus and too much noise. Call cops. In one place, oh, don't tell, never mind, I'm not going to tell that. There was one party I did, I won't mention names, out by the swimming pool and stuff, where I turned the music up real loud because I knew if I got real loud, the cops would come. I was tired. I'd been playing from like 4 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon till midnight for minimum wage. And I needed a 4-wheel truck to get, not really, but 4-wheel dolly like to get my equipment to the backyard. It was muddy and new lawn, and I was sinking, and I'd already had a double bypass, and that was the worst part. But I did. The cops ended up coming twice, and the second time they shut it down, praise the Lord. That was we had a lot of fun. We did that cruise ship out of Galveston. It was the biggest one day or first biggest overnight party boat in the country. It used to belong to Princess or something. They sold it. It was Star, Texas. And they would go out 100 miles where you could gamble. They'd go out for like 3 or 4 hours, and then you could gamble for 4 or 5 hours, and they'd come back in. And we were paid to play while they were going out and while they were coming in. And we got a free stateroom, free food, but we had to pay for booze, so we smuggled our tequila and stuff in on the equipment. Man, between the tequila and that ship rocket, God, it was great. First time I took every piece of equipment I owned. Lights, all my special thick lights, smoke machine, bubble machine, everything. And we had to park in a parking garage, load into an elevator, go across. There was like a walkway over railroad tracks, about 12 miles long, not really, but long. Oh, thing like you walk through, I don't remember what's it called, corridor. What do they call Memorial City?
The walkway, corridor.
Yeah, whatever. They went from that to the boat terminal. So we had to load in an elevator, go all the way across that walkway, whatever it is. It was enclosed. Yeah, Skywalk. All the way through the boat terminal, down another elevator to the ground floor, and then up a gangplank that had, first we tried to go in the kitchen at the bottom, and that didn't work because they had Coca-Cola and stuff stacked everywhere, and that was a nightmare. So I had to go up the gangplank, which had these little slats every 12 inches, up and down, into the boat ship, into the elevator, up to the top, all the way through the ballroom and everything to the discotheque. And we charged them good money for back then. I think it's $4.50 a night. Plus all we could eat in our stateroom. But man, that was the hardest $4.50 I ever made.
How many trips did you have to make?
We did it 8 weeks.
How many trips did you have to make?
Oh, well, the first time about 14, the second time 2. No more slides, no more bubbles, no more smoke. I want my speakers, my amp, and my player. But back then it was Laserdisc.
Yeah.
And the Laserdisc were old dolly loads, And since it was up and down, and so I couldn't stack it real high, it was crazy. And everybody'd say, yeah, if you'll take us with you, we'll help you well. At 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, when we got back to port, a lot of people got off, but the ones that paid for rooms stayed. And like Tom and Bonnie would go with us. And at 5:30 or 6, I'd look around, and I'm the only one in there. And I would unload it and then go to bed for 30 minutes. And then get up and come all the way to Houston and do next, which it was TDs and stuff. And Will Crescent Briar Forest.
There had to be something, starting off doing karaoke in Houston and nobody knowing about it.
Well, it was fun back then. We originally, we worked for that big company, RAC, national company, and I mean, we did a show, and I got, that book's in Tennessee, or on its way. You remember, you're not old enough, they had commercials when they brought out Diet Pepsi. It was a Pepsi challenge, they sent out 1 million cases, and they had the Diet Pepsi girls, and Ray Charles. Ray played the piano, you got the right one, baby, all that stuff. 3 dancing girls, and Ray Charles. And we were doing Walmart. They had a promotion between Pepsi and Walmart and RAC Entertainment. So every Saturday during the day, we would go to a Walmart, perform one, go to another Walmart, perform one, and then come back and do our Saturday night show at Bud Rose on Westheimer. Humble. At a Kroger's, we did a show with the Diet Pepsi girls, karaoke, and Ray Charles wasn't there, but that was a trip. But it was introducing karaoke to the world, and I mean, Belinda was the very first one I hired in Texas. The only one from Houston. There was a company that's called Star DJs in California that trained all those from all over the country. And Belinda came back, and she was high energy, and she was the best. I mean, she's what I learned from, and in essence, everybody else learned. She was the groundbreaker. That's why I'd like to have the video fixed, because it shows how she worked. She worked the crowd. I ran sound and lights, and she did everything else. She did the hosting, and I'd give her a lineup, she'd go back.
Do you have video of that?
I have one video.
On VHS, what do you got on? 1 millimeter?
It's our opening at the finals, that contest LJ was talking about where he won $500. I told him you need to get the contest, and he did. And he owed me $1,000, right?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
When did you come back?
When you come back to Houston, he said.
Well, I'm gonna be back. But that's how I'm gonna pay for my football ticket.
Hey,